Hello, Unlimited friends. It's Zara. Today, I have a really interesting question to do with the whole COVID-19 situation. I'm going to read the question out to you first. It's from Elena. How to stay happy when I was refused to be served because I didn't have a mask on? I stopped going to the mall because I have to wear a mask. No social events anymore. My world is shrinking. Is it time to change my habits and my lifestyle? Your advice would help. So, first of all, Elena, thank you so much for this question. It reminds me of something that Abraham once talked about, and I'm going to bring that and remind you because I'm pretty sure you might have heard this story as well. So the story was about this woman who did not want to wear seatbelts. She didn't want to wear a seatbelt because she thought that it was taking her freedom away. And then she got ticketed. She got ticketed for not wearing a seatbelt. And Abraham at that point in time said that because you were pushing back, that is why you got ticketed. Now, having said that, that was true in that situation. But we do have a choice. We have a choice to observe the rules or to not observe the rules. And there are many things that are happening in society, many rules that do impact our freedom. But we put up with them because those are the bigger rules that society has established. Let me remind you of a few. The seatbelt is one. I grew up not wearing a seatbelt. And now the first thing that happens when I sit in a car is looking for that seatbelt buckle. And I don't see it as having impacted my freedom because I can still go where I want to go. And I understand that those people who made the rules about wearing seatbelts were doing it from a good place. They were doing it from a place of wanting to save lives. And so I have no problem with that intention. The intent was not to take my freedom away. The intent was to keep me safe. In the same manner, I see this whole thing about wearing masks as being extremely similar. We wear masks as a society to contribute to what the society wants to accomplish as a whole, which is safety. Wearing a mask is not about taking someone's freedom away. Wearing a mask is supposed to help all of us. If all of us do our part, then we'll all come out all right. It's like saying, all right, so this is an example about my life. I lived on a street, and at the time when I bought my house, it was outside the city. Slowly, the city grew so big that that street that I lived on became a busy street. And so from being able to drive at whatever speed I wanted to, now there was a stop sign suddenly one day. And then the stop sign changed into a traffic light. Do you observe stop signs, Elena? Do you observe traffic lights? Why do you do that? You observe traffic lights and stop signs because you know the intention is not to take your freedom away. You're still going where you want to go. It's about safety, about keeping you safe. And the thing with not observing stop signs and traffic lights is that when you don't, you put someone else in danger and you put yourself in danger as well. Haven't we all heard of accidents happening because someone overstepped a red light or did not stop at a stop sign and then lives were lost? Look back at that and you say, oh, if I was that person, I would say, oh my God, I should have observed the traffic light. I should have observed the stop sign. Such a big price to pay for not observing those little things that we as a society have decided that these are the rules, and if we all play by the rules, then we all win, right? Another rule that society has made that a lot of us don't agree with is school. Gotta have your high school diploma. Cannot go into any professional studies without having that high school diploma, right? And some people push back, not to say that they don't succeed, because a lot of them succeed in life. But a lot of us put up with that, even though we don't like school. We go through school because we see pushing back as a harder way to do things than just going with the flow. So when you push back and you say that you don't want to wear a mask, then you are pushing back, and that does a couple of things. First of all, it brings you down the emotional scale. And when you're down on the emotional scale, all the things that you want are pushed away from you. Everything on all subjects in your life. So health, money, abundance, friendships, well-being, relationships, love, all of it is affected. Why would I want all of these things that are really important to me be affected by something as small and trivial as wearing a mask? My attitude is, if you want me to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. I don't care. Because I understand that pushing back is harder. It takes more effort to push back than to just go along with it. Just go along with it. That's the path of least resistance. Going along with it is the path of least resistance. Imagine this scenario. Imagine that maybe you're not wearing a mask and you meet someone else at the mall or wherever it is that you want to go and socialize. You meet someone and they're not wearing a mask as well. And a few days later, you discover that that person is now diagnosed with COVID-19. Now, feel the fear that you would feel, knowing that this person, now you'll say, why weren't they wearing a mask? They should have worn a mask. They should have been more careful. And me? Why wasn't I wearing a mask? I should have protected myself. Right? So the thing is, when you push back, then you line up with these kinds of things happening. You will meet people because they will meet you at your level of vibration. Whereas if you keep your vibration high, whether you're pushing against and you don't want to wear a mask, or you're not pushing against and you're okay with wearing a mask, in both situations, if you keep your vibration high by not pushing against. So I don't want to wear a mask, but I'm not going to push against because it's easier just to wear it. So now I'm at a high place on the emotional scale because even though I don't like this thing, I am not pushing against it. So I'm able to maintain my place high on the emotional scale, which means that I go about my life in a little bubble where everything that is fear related, which the virus is fear related, I call it a fear-seeking missile. That fear-seeking missile cannot find you if you're up here. But when you push back against the lineups, you push back against the special circumstances and precautions, you push back against wearing a mask, you bring yourself down the emotional scale. And when you bring yourself down the emotional scale, you're not only opening yourself up to the virus, you're also opening yourself up to all sorts of other negative things, because pushing back is pushing back. It is a negative vibration, and all subjects in your life will correspond to the vibration that you're sending out into the universe. There is no point in pushing back when society as a large has decided that this is what needs to be done. So go along with the intent of it. The intent of it is not to take your freedom away. The intent of it is to keep you safe and keep everyone else safe as well. And so that intent is perfectly fine. I'm okay with all of that. And I advise you to be okay with it as well, because I want you to keep your vibration high. And just tell yourself this too shall pass. Visualize a world where people no longer have to be fearful. Visualize a world where people no longer have to wear masks. And that is coming, because so many people have put that desire into their vortex. So as Abraham says, we have asked for it and it is already given. Allowing it in is going to happen by not pushing back against it. So Alina and everyone else who is listening, I hope you found this useful. And I love questions, so bring them on. Take care, folks. Bye for now.